afternoon, everybody. It's 3 p.m. and this is the Planning Commission. We have some echo here. Maybe I'll move this here. And we're going to start the meeting with a Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, under one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We'll start with the roll call. So we have 5 members of the Planning Commission present. We have Michael Anderson, to my right.
Present.
We have Jacob Yaheyan,
Oui.
to my right. Jeannie Droulas and Christian Picot, the chair of the Planning Commission, is with us by Zoom. Thank you, Christian. Co-chair, right. And my name is Michel Brogard, the other co-chair. Okay. Firstly, motion to approve the minutes of our meeting of November 14. Everybody has read them, examined them. Any comments, suggestions, improvements?
Discussion. I would like to know if Jeannie was able to send those to all the trustees and whether she has a sense that these guys are actually reading them.
So interesting you bring that up because I did not send it the last time and no one missed it. And I didn't send it not on purpose, but when recently I went to look and I did not send it. So, but I will continue.
Well, thank you for that, but you raised therefore a question. Is you're taking the time, most of the time, to send it to our trustees, and are they really reading it? So I think it would be great to maybe when we send the notes to give them an AI summary so that they at least read the summary. If they don't want to read all the notes would be my suggestion, and then call these people and say, look, this is what we're going to do in 26. We want you to at least read the summary, because I don't want trustees to not know what the Planning Commission is working on, which often happens.
I can do that.
We have our deputy mayor, Trustee Zinanti, in the audience.
Len actually
Any
always
comments?
says thank you.
Len?
Just for the record.
I thank you.
Yes, you always say thank you.
Brought up that way.
All right. Thank you, everybody. So to start, we have a 15-minute presentation on innovative, alternative, low-nitrogen septic systems. And we have with us Lynn Arthur of the Lake Agawam Conservancy. Hello,
Hi.
Lynn. And we have Thomas Varley of the Watershed, who is a watershed manager, New York State Center for Clean Water Technology at Stony Brook University. So here it is. Please, 15 minutes presentation. Thank you.
I'm going to turn it right over to Tom. In the interest of time, I'm just going to say we have these cards. If anybody's interested in signing up, we will contact you after the meeting and work with you on your grant applications because we want to give away money.
Good.
Could you go into screen share mode?
This one?
At the lower bottom, lower right. More, that one.
Yep.
Mhm.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the low nitrogen septic systems. So we do have a nitrogen problem, and nitrogen pollution is really the rocket fuel for algal blooms. So we have problems with toxic algal blooms, increased acidity, leads to low oxygen and fish kills and shellfish poisoning. But aside from surface water, it also affects our drinking water. So Suffolk County is in the top 5% of the U.S. in nitrogen levels. So if you look all the way over to the left, you see 200 million people across the nation have nitrates of less than 1, and Suffolk is 3.8. And there's been a lot of studies out there now, peer-reviewed studies, that are showing that nitrate levels, even as low as 3 milligrams per liter, has led to increased costs, increased incidences of cancers. And we know that most nitrogen comes from on-site septic systems. In a study that Dr. Gobler did in 2017, there was about 87% of the wastewater, of the nitrogen is coming from wastewater. And if you look at, well, how much would that be coming from the business district, from the village business district? That would only be about 20%. So really, the big issue and the big contributor to nitrogen are the residential systems within the town. So conventional septic systems, so we have to really get it at the source. And conventional septic tanks don't remove nitrogen. Typical septic tanks discharge about 80 milligrams per liter of nitrogen. The new standard for the innovative septic systems is 19, and a lot of them perform better than that. So even seasonal homes that are only occupied during the summer, with a conventional septic tank, discharge the same amount as a year-round residence with the IA system. So we all have an impact. So what does a conventional septic tank look like? And basically, it's a storage tank in the ground. There's a baffle wall. Solids are allowed to settle in the tank. Grease and oils float to the top. And whatever else, passes through will discharge into that leaching pool. So whatever goes into that leaching pool is going directly into our local water bodies, into our drinking water, and that's what's happening to the nitrates. So Suffolk County has developed a plan, this IA, or Innovative Alternative Treatment Systems. There's 7 approved systems so far. They all meet the nitrogen standards, and they all work on the same principle. They're a little different, but they're same principle. There's a multi-chamber tank. One chamber is aerated, and the air stimulates the naturally occurring bacteria. It converts the ammonium to nitrates, called nitrification. And then there's another chamber where no air is added, and that converts the nitrate to nitrogen gas. So the design engineer will usually kind of help guide you on what works for your property. Some systems, if it's a tighter property, some systems fit a little bit better, but they all work the same. So this is a map of the priority areas that are outlined for the village. And so how are we going to fund these systems? Well, the good news is there's a lot of money being put towards this. There are a number of grants and rebate programs available. And for people that are in these high priority zones, there's a total of $60,000 available and an additional $10,000 if you're in low to moderate income. The grants all work a little bit differently. I encourage homeowners to submit applications as soon as they can, so it can have its time to the approval process. And we're available to help. There is a little link that you can go to the town website and find if you're in those high priority zones. But even if you're not in your high priority zones, with $60,000 available, the average cost of an IA system, say a 4-bedroom house, is around $34,000. So some properties a little bit more or less, but now you can get a system upgraded for your home at no cost. So really, the basic steps to your upgrade is first submit your grant applications. Then a designer is going to prepare the design for your property. They might ask you questions. Are you planning on expanding your home? So they might size it a little bit bigger for an extra bedroom. You select an installer from the approved list. The installer usually is the one that gets the permits from the towns. Then after it's installed, then they do the inspection. The county pays their grant directly to the contractor, and then you would submit your paperwork to the town to get the rebate from the town. So what do you expect from an install? Well, they need to excavate your property, okay? So it's important to work with your engineer when you locate your system. Usually they put it in the place where your existing septic tank is, but sometimes it's located in a different area. But it's important to work with your engineer to, you might have some specimen trees or something in your landscape that you don't want disturbed, and they can see if it can fit somewhere else with you. The actual install is really quick, 1 or 2 days, and it's done. So, and typically you don't have to be out of the house. They can work around you, make that initial tie-in. So it's really quick. So there is disruption to your property, but the disruption's temporary. but the environmental benefits are ongoing. So there are some visual impacts. There are access covers that need to be accessible, so your unit can be serviced. Most of them are these round manholes. If it's in a grass area, it's going to have these plastic covers. If it's in a driveway, it'll have like a cast iron manhole so cars can drive on it. The middle one, the Orenco system, that's just a little design. They have a hatch, not the manholes. So there's ways to hide the look of it. You can get creative with your landscaping around it. One on the bottom left is my favorite. There's actual IA system underneath that walkway. They had their landscaper cut these slabs to make a cover, custom cover for their system, and you wouldn't even know it's there. We mentioned that one of the chambers would be aerated, so there is a little blower. It's very quiet. But there needs to be a control panel. The control panel doesn't need to be in the middle where the tank is. It can be tucked in. So this first picture there, that's actually in Lake Agawam. There's a picture there where we tucked the blower, that little green little box up there. That's by their air conditioning unit and their control panel in there. Another one is hidden in the ferns there. And the last one is a picture of just on the side of a garage. So after the install, Suffolk County is going to witness your startup. You can submit your required paperwork to the town for your rebate. Suffolk County requires a 3-year service contract with the install, so part of that price of the install includes a 3-year service agreement. After the 3 years is up, the homeowners are required to have an annual service contract with each year after that. Suffolk County, as part of their work plan for the IA systems, they're also considering covering operation and maintenance costs. I don't know the details of that program yet on it, but they're thinking about, what happens after these 3 years. So Suffolk County, everybody's ready, all in on upgrading these systems and what it takes to improve it. So there are some ongoing maintenance costs. I mentioned the annual service agreement. I believe it's around $500 average right now. So after the 3 years, you would have to do it. They come twice a year. They inspect your system. Pumping. Most people don't realize even your conventional septic tanks need pumping. Nobody really does it until they have a backup, and then they have to do something to it. But the IA systems require pumping. Usually it's on a schedule around every 3 years. There is electric costs. Power can vary, different manufacturers, but usually it's low. Usually it's around $100, $120 a year for electrical. And the big thing is that there's help for you. There's assistance that I provide to homeowners at no cost. I educate the homeowners on what the upgrade process is. I assist with the grant applications, selecting an engineer, help you select an installer, and just work with you on getting your system working. No charge. Give me your property address. I'll look up, see what incentives are available to you, and we have to get everybody to be doing this in order to really make a difference on here. So,
Can you help also with multi-res as well, like 2 to 4 unit dwellings?
the program is set up for, the
SFR.
Suffolk County grants are set up for single-family homes, 2-family homes, or a single-family with a accessory apartment. So
2 units.
there are multiple, you can put these things on multiple homes, but as far as the grant program, it's a little different. So, I just looked at a system that actually FujiClean installed. It was for in the Hampton Bays, and they just had a condominium complex that had these IA systems to call. It's a lot bigger system, but same principle.
But isn't the grant, there's just a different path to the grant money?
Different grant to the path money. They did that through separate grants through it's not the residential program, they did it through the regular CPF funding grant.
We're contemplating with our not-for-profit and Southampton Housing Authority on 131 Main to add 3 two-bedroom workforce housing on the lot and have a community benefit in the main house, keep the upstairs. So it'll be four units and kind of co-workspace
Sure.
office. Yeah, that's why I asked if we can tap into your brain trust.
Typically, that's done through separate CPF grants, and we've done that. We've helped a lot of nonprofits.
I'll reach out and you just
Yeah.
point us in the direction.
Sure.
Yeah, we already have an architect.
Sure, we're doing something with Steinbeck House. Steinbeck House got a
Oh, yeah.
grant, and we're looking to upgrade their system there.
The pump that you're referring to, how, does that run continuously, or does it run every hour?
The air
Right.
pump is usually continuous. There are different technologies. I told you to mention things. Some people don't use an air pump. They use a water pump that has an aerator on it, and that will run intermittently. Some people have, where it's aerating down through a bed, so it's getting air from the atmosphere, but you're running a pump. So it's different. Pumps have a little bit more draw than these little blowers. So it's just a different way of doing it, but the air is running continuously,
It
yes.
is noisy?
No,
No?
it's very low. It's probably around 39 decibels, I think. Usually around there. We're about 80 decibels.
Okay.
So it's quiet.
And I assume you have contractors available?
Yes, there's contractors available. The county has a whole list of approved contractors. And that's if you're using if you're using the Suffolk County grant. If you're not using the Suffolk County grant, you just want to go with the state grant or the town rebate, you don't have to use somebody on that approved list.
Right.
I do recommend it, because there is a service component to it. Some people just do the installs, and they have other people do the servicing. Some people do the installs and servicing themselves. Some, the manufacturers, like I know Fuji Clean does a lot of the servicing of the units themselves as well.
Is it typically a plumbing outfit that would do the servicing?
No, it's typically a septic
outfit?
company,
Okay.
yeah. And that's a requirement in the septic program when they develop this. You have to have a CDL license and an endorsement,
Right.
for these systems.
Another value in working with the county is they have a list of a price list. So at least you have a point of reference if you're concerned with, sometimes there's the Hamptons price.
Right.
So there's a price list available that you can check
Gotcha.
against. But Tom has that too.
And usually if I'm helping a homeowner, usually I'll get 3 quotes. So we'll look at, and I know, what the quotes come in, if
Right.
that's reasonable or not.
Great.
Great. Well, thank you very much. Any question from the audience?
I have
Yes.
a question for Tom.
Sure.
Yeah, Tom, Christian Pico. So, you and I have started to work together on my home, and I have a question which may be of interest to the public. My intent is to simply replace the septic where it is with an IA. And I didn't quite understand why I was asked to provide a survey of the property if I'm just going to replace the existing septic location with an IA. Could you explain that for the public as to why would one need to do that?
Well, usually the engineers are the ones that want the survey because they want to know where to lay things out. They want to know, what utilities are in the way. But for the most part, it'll be where your existing septic tank is. That's the most logical because you have to abandon your existing septic tank, like abandoning it in place, or remove it. That's part of the regulations. So, some people just abandon it and leave it in place because they're relocating it. But for most people, they're putting it where it was.
So the benefit of the survey is really to find out genuinely what other utilities might be around so that when you rip out the septic and replace it with an IA, you don't run into unintended consequence with other utilities. Is that right?
Yeah, and they do. Yeah, I mean, there will be a utility mark out. Like any dig you do, it has to have a utility mark out to make sure you're not hitting things. But for the most part, you can use an old survey that you have if it has enough information on it. And usually it's the engineers that want that because they want to put that on your drawing. But you don't need it, you don't need it for the application, though.
Understood. Could you do a survey specifically for your septic area, or do you need to pay for a survey for the entire property? And what is the cost upfront?
I don't know the specific cost of a survey. I mean, I've had surveys done before, but, you know, I don't know what the typical costs are they charge out here.
We had a
for survey.
surveyor at the event. We could certainly follow up and get that question answered.
Thank you, Lynn.
Yeah, but I would think it's going to be for the whole property that they'd want.
Yeah, because they need to see wetlands, where the other, if there's any wells, distance from
Yeah, there's a distance that
150 feet.
If you're not on public water, there's a distance that you have to be away from your drinking water supply or your neighbor's drinking water supply. So they want to see those kinds of things.
Len, do you have a question? Can you go to the microphone?
Sorry. I've heard some discussion, and I guess it's kind of ripping off of the question Christian just asked about the county either requiring or encouraging septic tanks to be placed in the front yards so that if sewers ever come down, it's an easier hookup. Is that true?
I don't know the reasoning from it, but I can tell you the reason why we're talking about IA systems right now is because it is not feasible to sewer Suffolk County. It's not feasible at all. The cost that I've seen for
through the
Suffolk
roof,
County
yeah.
is in excess of $4.6 billion.
Through the roof.
And then on top of that, you're talking about $280 million of annual servicing of those units. And if you think traffic is bad now, imagine when you're doing sewers and ripping up all your roads. So it's just not practical. And I got to tell you, 5 years ago, definitely 10 years ago, but even 5 years ago, they probably didn't think this was feasible until we started seeing all the advances in the IA technology. I've been in the wastewater business for 43 years. When they told me, you know, about on-site septic systems, I was very skeptical. And do these things really work? Because I'm a certified operator. I operate treatment plants. And then when I saw the data and I said, wow, this really is something. And it's because of those advances that it's only even possible to get these things done now.
But to your knowledge, you're not aware of any such requirement or suggestion?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Great.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Lynn.
Question.
Thank you very much.
We have
Oh,
a
one more
public-
question from the audience. Yes, Pippa.
They do encourage you to put it in front, because we did it 2 years ago. It's not required, but it's definitely encouraged.
Incurred by the county.
No, by the person, by Fuji Clean, who was
Oh,
installing
oh,
it. I had a question about the,
Can you introduce yourself?
oh, I'm
to-
sorry, I'm Pippa Gerard. I live on Hill Street here in Southampton Village. We did this 2 years ago, because with a growing family, we added a couple bedrooms for visiting grandchildren and everything. So I know a little bit about this. When did the grant program become so accessible? Because when we did this 2 years ago, I noticed on 2 of your places there it said low to moderate income, but there were no grants available for people above a certain income, which was not very high. So are grants truly available now, or is it still income based?
No, it's not.
Okay, so when
It's
did that
available
change?
to everyone. And when did it change?
I don't know when it changed, but they took the income limits off. The goal is to get everybody
Right.
to
Yeah, I get
upgrade.
it. I get it.
And that's why you're seeing most of the grants being increased. Suffolk County grant used to be 10,000, okay? It went up to 15, and I believe in 2026 it's going to be 20,000. New York State just jumped from 10,000 to 25,000. So there's a lot of money being put at this
Right.
to
We
do
can't
it.
apply retroactively,
I was
can we?
just gonna
No,
I'm
unfortunately,
just
unfortunately
teasing.
we
I
I was about
can't.
to ask that question for you.
Okay.
Dennis.
And then the other question I had for you is, I remember about 5 or 6 years ago, when your colleague, Chris
Goebel,
Goebel,
yeah.
was working with or advising Georgia Capond Association, the same way you're advising Southampton Village of Town now. And I recall they got every owner on the Georgia Capond to voluntarily agree to upgrade to the AI septic on their individual properties within 2 to 3 years. And I followed up on that, and it was done. I've asked this question for a couple of years now. I think it would be great PR and help move other individuals in Southampton Village towards doing this. if every resident on Lake Agawam would do it.
We are on that.
Well, I know, but nothing's really happening. I
Oh,
keep being
that's-
told Lake Agawam houses are empty most of the year. They're not putting that much into the water and this, that, and the other thing, so.
I can't say it on
Oh, that's
online,
right, so, sorry, you work for them.
But trust me, I'm on it.
Okay.
And we are progressing that, and several of them, especially board members, are progressing their grant applications because I'm working on it directly.
But I think if that's happening, it would be
Yeah.
great to get some local press and PR about it.
Oh,
because That
absolutely.
will help get everybody else.
Absolutely.
And there are still homes in Georgia Capon that still need to be upgraded, and that's part of my job is to help every homeowner do that. Everybody has the same issues, you know. Everybody likes the environment and everybody wants cleaner water. But when you start coming out to your individual properties, you start getting a hesitation, and we're hoping to kind of allay your fears there and help you through it.
If I could just get the last word on this, I'm going to be here through the end of the meeting. Anyone in the audience who wants to fill out a card, I will give you a card and hand you a nice water bottle in return. And we're available to assist.
Great. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you very much.
Question? Sorry. Oh, sorry.
We have one more question.
Sorry, Kevin McGowan. I'm from Advanced Wastewater Solutions. We're the distributor for FujiClean Systems on Long Island. Thank you, Tom and Lynn, for the presentation. I just wanted to step up to clarify one thing about the location of the systems in the front yard. The health department does encourage that. It's not a requirement. If you have an existing system in your rear yard, they're amenable to allowing you to keep it in the rear yard. But they do encourage, especially if it's a blank slate, they want to see it in the front yard, and they encourage moving them into the front yard, primarily just for ease of maintenance. That way you don't have to bring a pump truck, a hose all the way around to the backyard or anything like that, but it's just convenience to maintain them easier.
Have you installed systems here in the village of Southampton?
Sure, yeah, many.
And it's working well?
They work very well, yes. Yeah.
That's good. All right. Christian,
Thank
you
you.
have a last question before we move on?
Good. Get Tom's
I want to
card.
thank Kevin for showing up today. Good to see you, Kevin.
Get his card.
Sorry?
No, I was asking Gregory to get. Can you give your card? Do you have a card? Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. And now we move on to the next item on the agenda, item number 5, which is the Public Safety Wireless Tower at Windmill Lane Fire Station. And the update is that the building permit is imminent. There's a little bit of back and forth between Diamond Communications, the builder of the tower, and our building department inspector, but we expect to get the building permit within a week or two.
Oh, that's great.
And we expect to have the beginning of the construction in January or February. That's the update. And then we go to item number 6, which is the Southampton Village Partnership, and Ginny will give us an update. Ginny?
Thank you, Michelle. I'm pleased to say that we have made a significant progress over the last month. We met, in fact, yesterday with the committee, and we're having another meeting Tuesday, hopefully to meet with a web designer. As everyone might know, the first phase of this is to create a website that it will serve as a central repository of all the events and everything happening in Southampton Village. And stay tuned, because I think, we're aiming to get this up and going by April, May, and I think it'll be the first phase of lots of good communication that will prompt visitors to come during the off-season, which is, again, one of the primary reasons we're doing this initiative.
Thank you, Ginny. Any questions? No questions? Thank you. And we move on to item number 7, which is the water tank project at North Magee in Tuckahoe Woods, and that's Jacobs.
We've made incredible inroad with both the township in collaborating with the planners. It is under review right now, both with our village attorney, Suffolk County Water Authority, as well as with the township attorneys to start crystallizing the various uses of the property lines as well. But the good news, and for the benefit of the community, we collaborated with Suffolk County Water Authority, and this kind of goes into wastewater treatment. We are collaborating with Suffolk County Water Authority to add 2 million gallons of water storage for the benefit of the village and the township, so we don't have water depletion. Our Prospect Street 1 million gallon water storage tank depletes during high usage, which is a danger to the community, and this has been an incredible collaboration with Suffolk County Water Authority. Incredible support by our trustees. Thank you, Len, with the Suffolk County engineers, co-chair of operation, the township planner. It's been one of those rare situations where everybody's coming together to come with a sustainable water storage preservation project that benefits the community. So the premises, the storage tank will be housed at our North McGee Village property. Suffolk County Water Authority will engineer, construct, and pay us rent for it. So it's one of those rare birds, and we look forward to its fruition by hopefully start moving dirt by the end of 2026. I mean, that would be the goal, wouldn't it be, Lynn? So it's been one of those wonderful projects to initiate for community benefit.
Thank you, Jacob. Any questions from the audience on the water tank?
Have you gotten any pushback from the town, or are they,
Not at all. I mean,
are they very interested?
it's been incredible. I mean, Len quarterbacked it up to the township planner. She is all over it. I
Good.
mean, it's been just brilliant. I mean, they see the benefit both to the township and to the village and to the residents and the commercial use community-wide. I mean, to have that additional capacity just makes sense for everyone.
Good.
Thank you. That brings us to item number 8, tree updates. Michael?
Thank you, Michelle. I'd like to thank Steve Phillips and Len, who's on the tree committee, are present tonight at the meeting. Thank you for showing your interest. As far as the trees go, had a little meeting with the mayor yesterday. Over the past 3 years, Public Works has planted over 600 trees. Another 200 this year, over 200 this year. I don't know if anybody has seen the work that was done on Main Street and on Job's Lane, the trees that were dead that were caused by the Christmas lights for the most part. They were all taken down and replaced with very nice large caliber trees, and it looks beautiful. As far as the tree lighting issue that we've been wrestling with, we were concerned about who installed the lights. Was it the village that installed the lights years ago? Was it the owners of the or occupants of the buildings that put the lights on? In any event, we've come to the conclusion that there's a code, an electrical code, on the books right now that states, for safety reasons, that the tree lights can only be on for a 3-month period, a 90-day period. They have to be taken down after the 90 days. So instead of a resolution that we were trying to get for the board, really there's no need for that resolution. We can just use the electrical code to make sure that those lights come down.
And who is going to install them?
We don't know. That hasn't been determined
Okay.
as of right now. I know the trustees and the mayor are thinking about it. What else can I say about the trees? Big thing, huge thing. Steve Phillips is right in the process right now of getting estimates for maintenance program for the village trees, both 2 different proposals, one for the maintenance of the trees and the second one also for taking down the dead trees. So he is in the process of getting prices so he can construct a budget that is coming up in January, so we can submit that budget to the trustees for approval so we can finally get the tree maintenance that's required. That's big. with that, that's all I have pretty much for on the trees. With the deer,
I have one more question. At the end of this Christmas season, in January, somebody's going to have to take down all these lights from the trees, right, on Jobs Lane and Main Street?
right?
And we don't know yet who is going to do it.
That's correct.
But it's going to be either us or a third party that we hire to do?
Correct.
Okay, got it.
Michael?
Yes, sir.
Like a question on, I understand, trying to get a sense of how much you should put on the budget line for this tree maintenance. But, if and when this budget gets adopted and that line is still in there post the adoption of the budget, does one have to go through an RFP process to, award this contract?
Len?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
If we're
The
gonna
answer is yes.
outsource this-
Therefore,
Yeah,
this planning commission should probably work with, like we've done before, the RFP process, like we've done for cell tower and other things. And you, I guess, Michael, would be part of that RFP committee
Okay.
in 2026. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, that brings us to item number 9, deer management update. Michael?
Well, with that meeting I had with the mayor yesterday, Michael Testori, who runs Suffolk County Deer Management, who the village has hired as a professional company to run the program. We had an issue, well, it's an ongoing issue, it's been an issue for 3 years, about gaining access to properties. We have up to 42 properties that we have access to, but the more properties we have, the more successful we'll be. But as far as being successful, I have to say, the program has become pretty successful. And one of the reasons why I can say that is because I was talking to Steve Phillips about this, and as far as traffic incidents and deer issues on traffic violations or traffic incidents, last year we had 45 deer that Public Works had to go to pick up and bring to a grave site. So far this year, there's only been 15.
Oh, wow.
So we're making progress. We have 45 deer so far taken this year. Last year it was 115. I'm always looking for at least 100, and I'm pushing Michael to get us that number. But realistically, what are we down? We're down 15. I think we're down 15 deer from the progress that we had last year. So we'll see what happens. But everything is good with that.
Good.
So, yeah. Also, as you all well know, I've been trying to get something on the website to promote this program so people can go on the website. And the mayor yesterday said that I can write something up and put it on the website once he approves it. So there will be a little blurb on the website advertising that the village offers this program free of charge for village residents. Okay.
That's good. Thank you, Michael. Steve, as long as you're here, do you want to give a little update on big projects that you completed with your team in 2025 and big project that you want to do in 2026? And maybe you sit here in front of the mic.
Big projects. Hampton Road is complete.
All right.
Big project, number one out of the way. Coming up, budgetary purposes, I'm sitting with the mayor to figure out what kind of projects the board or himself want to do. So as of right now, I'm not aware of what we plan on doing. But 200 trees, it's a lot. Guy's been busy. So
Good.
we're just plugging along.
That's good. Okay, Steve, thank you very
No
much.
problem.
And thank you for coming
No
today.
worries.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is an update on the Southampton Village workforce housing. You remember that we had a meeting at the Planning Commission with a full crew. We had probably 30 or 40 people in this room, and lots of people were very interested. Last night at the Board of Trustees, the mayor and the 4 trustees passed a resolution to encourage or permit workforce housing within the office district and the Hampton Road area, encouraging developers to take advantage of increased density, but have half, 50% of the number of units and 50% of the GFA, the surface of the building, devoted to workforce housing. Len, do you want to give a little update on your thoughts on the subject?
The discussion among the trustees, we've had public hearings on this proposal since August, and the discussion really was the ratio of workforce housing to non-workforce housing. And one of our members, Trustee Simeone, was pushing for 100% workforce housing in the business district rezoning. And I think Trustee Stevenson and I and the mayor felt that this is a moderate step, a step in the right direction for the village. This has been a passionate issue in the past with the village, and I think the idea that we are now putting our toe in the ocean is a big deal, frankly. And hopefully it will be successful and will accomplish what we intend. The bigger picture for workforce housing, as I brought up last night, is more of a regional problem given the geography and the zoning and density of the village. There's really not a lot of opportunity for a lot of workforce housing. So I made the analogy, like traffic, and nobody threw tomatoes at me, that this is really a regional issue, and we really need to kind of think about it with our neighbors to the east and west of us.
Very good.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Len, for this. Actually, Alex, do you have any...
Wait. Excuse me,
Yes.
if I may ask. I understood last night that perhaps Jake and Rob Coburn were supposed to meet today.
We
If you
are, yeah.
did anything interesting come up?
Trustee Coburn and I will be meeting after the Planning Commission meeting. He's coming in
Okay.
after our meeting.
Right.
Alex, anything on your plate that you want to share with the public? Any projects you're working on? Any thoughts about how 2026 is shaping up for you as a planner for the village? A new system. You put people on the spot.
Yes.
And you force them to say something interesting.
This discourages using AI to answer your question.
That's right.
It's an oral exam.
That's right.
So thank you for the update about the workforce housing code. That's obviously been a priority that we've been working on for several months. Now that that's been adopted, I'm going to be working with the zoning board, getting them trained up on the new code. As you know, people can now make applications to the zoning board for those workforce housing developments. So I'm going to make sure that they're fully informed about the criteria that were put in place
You
for
have
that.
applications already?
No,
No.
but now that we're going to set up a procedure for that to make
Yeah.
sure that we can implement the code now that it's been adopted. I've also talked to the Architectural Review Board to discuss whether they want to adopt specific design guidelines that might help expedite the review
Yeah.
for some of those. So those are two things we're going to work on to implement the code now that it's been adopted.
Good. Any other subject that you want to bring up for 2026?
I mean, we've talked about the battery and solar and storage systems.
It's a good segue.
Yeah.
The
Bess,
Best,
Christian,
yeah.
do you want to interject and talk to us about...
Sure. So I presented on behalf of the Planning Commission a report on our research for battery energy storage system during the last work session. It was informative and well received. Since then, getting some feedback, we concluded that rather than trying to work in an all-encompassing solution, adapting the town's plan to the village for BESS with all the various tier from BTM, tier 1, tier 2, up to 5 megawatt, to actually break down the problem and try to solve for this initially with BTM, behind the meter, 80 kilowatt limitation. So That's what we want to start working on. Alex and I and others have communicated on this the last couple of days. And Alex, since you're in the hot chair, can you share with us and perhaps the public specifically how we're going to tackle first the BTM, what we need to do, what is sort of the timeline in your mind? I realize it's very preliminary, but I'd love you to share some of your thoughts with everyone.
Sure. So it was recently suggested that the best approach to start would be to look at these smaller systems that would be installed in individual homes and businesses rather than the large-scale systems, which I think we all know we're unlikely to see in the village just because of this space and the zoning that we have available. So we've taken a look at the town of Southampton's code, the way that they regulate those on accessory and primary dwellings. So I think the thought is, how can we adapt something similar to the needs of the village? So I think that's where we're going to start in the new year, since that's probably the only types of systems that we're likely to see here in the near future.
Good. Okay. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Christian, for this update on BES. Sheila.
Comment.
Oh, Pippa has a question. And then Sheila, you have something to add?
I'm
You always have something to add.
No, I'm sorry I'm late.
No.
I was held up by some optimum.
Okay. Okay, Pippa. You have to speak at the mic, otherwise the public cannot hear you or
Workforce housing, yeah, we're still on
Please.
that, right?
no, Sheila, Pippa,
Sitting
sit here.
now. Oh my goodness, at the table. So I was at the village board meeting last night and listened to the conversation, Len. I thought it was very good, all of them, even with different points of view. It was well done. And I'm glad we're starting, I mean, with the first one, even if it's the 50-50, what have you. But I thought last night it was interesting that yesterday's press, one of the lead articles, was about the Southampton Town Hall moving everybody to Hampton Bays. So I thought, so what's going to happen to the Southampton Town Hall building? I believe it's owned by the village. So this would be an opportunity for the village to actually build workforce housing. Get the loans themselves, hire the contractors. So it's not a developer who needs to make a big profit at the end and allocate so much per market housing and so much per workforce housing. So I was just wondering if you were thinking about things like that when it's rare to have this happen, that a property that's owned by the village, it possibly might be vacant in 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
Now
Then
would be the
we
time.
have the deputy mayor. Deputy mayor, please come to this microphone.
sorry.
Thank you.
No, just a simple,
Okay.
I don't believe we own that
Oh,
building.
all right, but,
It was
The property.
formerly the high school.
right.
And so I don't know who owns it, but I believe the village does not own it.
Okay, my understanding was the village owns the land and had leased it to the town for the town hall.
Well, you might be right.
But anyway, but I just thought it was something, when we see something like that,
Yep.
that this group
They're
anyway.
moving everybody out?
Well,
That's what it
it's-
says, they're proposing that they're gonna move all the Southampton Town offices from the Southampton Town Hall to Hampton Bays, near the courthouse there. It
They
was
have space for hundreds of people?
I think they're building some, I mean, it's in yesterday's paper, it's the lead article,
they
so
have
it's
none.
easy to find.
They're going to be building a new building.
Yeah,
It's
they
a
have
new
to build
building?
a new building, yeah.
But it
So-
won't be, it'll be gradual, is what I understood.
Right, so, but
The courts are moving first, or maybe have already moved, and then they would like to consolidate everything at Jackson Avenue, which, you're right, would leave this building empty.
And I'm just thinking now, before someone else decides to do something with it, maybe it makes sense for the
That's a
village and your
fantastic
commission
opportunity
to
then. Yeah.
do it. Because from the research I've done, whether it's here or in other states, and I said this at a board meeting a couple of months ago, or even in Europe, where workforce housing or affordable housing is most successful is when the municipality owns it and it's not developers building and selling it. So, and I thought, well, here's an opportunity perhaps for the village if they own the land to try.
Okay.
So that was my suggestion.
Thank you,
I
Pippa.
won't
Thank
get
you,
up
Len.
again, Michelle.
No, that's good.
And plenty of parking.
That's good. Wonderful.
That's a big layout.
Okay. Any other comments from the public, Sheila? No, really? No? Okay.
Sorry.
This young lady here sitting with us, you want to add something?
That's the Minister of Housing Affairs. That's my wife.
Oh my God, I didn't realize. Nice to meet you. Okay, Christian, I think the time has come for you to maybe announce the plans of the Planning Commission for 2026. Do you have some ideas?
I do. And look, as we close the year, I would like to share with you some thoughts here. I'm really very optimistic about 2026 for the Planning Commission to continue delivering. We've learned from some mistakes. We are communicating better. And priorities for 2026 clearly will be ongoing for workforce housing, advancing a 2 million water tank project for you, Jake.
For us.
There's the completion of a cell tower for you, Michelle, along some of your other responsibility on another committee. There's managing the public trees and deer population for you, Michael. There's getting the Southampton Village Partnership off the ground for you, Jeannie. And there's the best legislation for me that's sort of near term in terms of 2026 in the first half, at least for most of these things we just talked about. It looks like the water tank project, if we could break ground by the end of 26, as optimistically pointed out by Jake, those are all 26 projects. But I think there's something else in 2026 that's taking shape, which is likely to be transformational. Hopefully, and finally, the beginning of a real plan for a sewer once the site is determined and locked up. This will have implications for the commission, which we'll need to start thinking about in 2026. Whilst we understand this is a project will take several years until it's up and running, it'll be good for the commission to think about its contribution to the effort, whether it's housing zoning or what use or the implications. So I would think starting in the second half of 26, we'll have to free up some resources in some of these projects we're all working on to start focusing on that. So these are how I see Planning Commission for 2026. I certainly want to thank Michelle for helping me on the workload as chair and been a great co-chair, so thank you. And just sorry I couldn't be with you on this last meeting today. I'll be at the village employee Christmas festivities on the 18th. Look forward to seeing you all there. And my best wishes for festive Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, and for Jeannie I will say also the Protocronia. So thank you everyone. Looking forward to 26.
Thank you, Christian. A good opportunity to also thank Sage for his work this year. Thank you, Sage. We appreciate your help. And to Jolie for taking notes and preparing the minutes after every meeting. Thank you, Jolie. That's very kind of you. The next meeting is on January 16, Friday, January 16 at 3 p.m. Happy holidays, and thank you.